Intuition is often dismissed as a mere hunch or a random feeling, but when you begin to understand the way the quantum field operates, you realize it's far more than that. Intuition is like a subtle language, a whisper that connects your conscious awareness with the infinite intelligence that underlies reality. Every moment of your life, you are surrounded by countless possibilities, endless streams of information and energy that your logical mind can never fully process, yet your intuition knows how to navigate this unseen ocean. It is your inner compass, receiving signals that guide you toward the paths most aligned with your true self. When you pay attention to those feelings that arise without explanation, those inner nudges that seem to come from nowhere, you are actually tuning into quantum signals that are already shaping your reality. Think of it this way: your five senses are like small windows into the world, but intuition is a doorway into the deeper structure of existence. It goes beyond what your eyes can see or your ears can hear. Have you ever felt a pull to call someone, only to discover they needed you at that exact moment? Or walked into a room and immediately sensed the energy without a word being spoken? These are not accidents. These are signs of your nervous system detecting subtle shifts in the field around you. Intuition bypasses the linear mind because it does not rely on logic or reasoning. It is like a receiver, picking up on frequencies your conscious awareness has not yet translated into thought. And when you begin to trust this, you unlock a powerful tool for navigating life. The challenge is that most people ignore these signals. They rationalize them away, convincing themselves that it's coincidence, imagination, or wishful thinking. But the truth is, the quantum field is never silent. It is always speaking, always sending signals, always reflecting your state of being back to you. The more you pay attention to these whispers, the clearer they become. Your intuition sharpens like a muscle that grows stronger with use. And in time, you begin to see how your life unfolds not as a random sequence of events, but as a perfectly orchestrated dance, where intuition guides your every step. There's a reason so many breakthroughs, discoveries, and even life-changing decisions are born not from long hours of analysis, but from a flash of intuition. That sudden clarity, that instant knowing, comes from being tapped into something larger than your individual mind. It's the universe nudging you, showing you what your logical thinking could not reveal. And the more you align your energy with presence and openness, the easier it becomes to receive these signals. When you slow down, when you quiet the noise of constant thought, you begin to notice the subtle layers of communication that were always there. It is not about forcing or chasing these signals. It is about allowing them to rise naturally, recognizing them as the guiding lights they are. Every intuitive message is a signpost, pointing you toward growth, love, expansion, or alignment. You don't have to question or overanalyze them. You simply have to feel and respond. In this way, intuition becomes your most reliable guide, a bridge between the unseen quantum field and the tangible world you move through each day. And once you truly understand this, you begin to realize that intuition is not mysterious at all. It is the simplest and most natural form of communication between you and the infinite intelligence of reality. Trusting it is not about escaping reason. It is about embracing a higher order of intelligence that has always been guiding you. Your intuition has always been the voice of the quantum field, and when you learn to listen, it will always lead you home. When we talk about intuition guiding us through quantum signals, it's essential to understand that these signals are not random. They are patterns of resonance. Everything in the universe vibrates at a certain frequency, including your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. The quantum field mirrors these frequencies back to you in ways that may first appear subtle, almost invisible, until you learn how to recognize them. These signals might come as synchronicities, repeated numbers, a sudden insight, or even the appearance of the right person at the right time. They are not coincidences. They are reflections of the energy you carry, guiding you toward alignment with your deeper purpose. Imagine tuning into a radio station. If you're off the frequency, the sound is full of static, distorted, and unclear. But when you hit the right frequency, everything flows effortlessly. The music is sharp, clear, and beautiful. That's exactly how quantum signals work in your life. When your inner state is scattered, filled with doubt or noise, the signals feel muffled, easy to miss. But when you quiet your mind, align with clarity and presence, The signals come through in crystal clear. Intuition then becomes unmistakable, and the choices that once seemed difficult begin to feel natural and obvious. Many people misunderstand these quantum signals, thinking they're mere coincidences or external signs they must chase. But the truth is, these signals are reflections of your internal resonance. The universe doesn't just throw random hints at you, it responds to your vibration. If you hold a frequency of fear, you may notice signals that reinforce fear. If you embody trust, love, and openness, you'll see signs that expand your opportunities and lead you toward fulfillment. That's why cultivating your inner state is just as important as learning to read the signals themselves. When you shift the frequency you radiate, the signals you attract shift as well. What's remarkable is that your body already knows how to recognize these signals. Your gut feeling, the tightening of your chest, the relaxation in your shoulders when something feels right, these are not just biological reactions. They are your nervous system responding to quantum information, guiding you toward or away from certain paths. When you learn to listen to these sensations without judgment, you realize they are not random at all. They are part of a larger dialogue between you and the universe. Every cell in your body is constantly exchanging information with the quantum field, and intuition is the conscious awareness of this subtle exchange. The mistake most people make is overthinking these experiences, trying to rationalize or force meaning onto them, but quantum signals are simple, direct, and often bypass the intellect altogether. They don't require endless analysis. They require trust. Trusting your intuition doesn't mean ignoring reason, but it does mean recognizing that there is a higher intelligence at play, one that is not limited by the boundaries of logic. By leaning into this trust, you allow your path to unfold with a sense of flow, synchronicity, and grace. When you begin to live this way, life no longer feels like a series of disconnected events. Instead, it feels like a guided journey, where every moment is part of a bigger design. You see patterns that connect past, present, and future, and you realize that nothing is random. Everything is energy, everything is connected, and everything is guiding you when you are open enough to receive it. So the key is to stop chasing and start aligning. You don't need to search desperately for signs. You need to tune yourself into resonance. The quantum field is always speaking, always signaling. The question is, are you quiet enough, present enough, and trusting enough to hear it? And when you are, those signals become the clearest guidance you'll ever receive. Your intuition doesn't just work in isolation. It functions as a bridge between your inner world and the quantum field. To understand this, imagine the quantum field as a vast ocean of infinite possibilities. Every potential reality you could experience already exists in that ocean, waiting for you to tune into it. Intuition is the compass that helps you navigate those waters. It doesn't give you a detailed map of every turn and every choice, but it does nudge you toward the direction that resonates with your highest frequency. These nudges may come as whispers, subtle sensations, or a quiet knowing that defies explanation. The more you learn to listen, the more confident you become in letting intuition guide you across the endless sea of possibilities. Often, people get stuck because they rely too heavily on logic. They want certainty, facts, and guarantees before taking a step. But the quantum realm doesn't operate on linear proof. It operates on resonance and flow. Intuition is the only tool you have that can bypass the limits of rational thinking and connect you directly to the unseen information of the field. When you honor your intuitive signals, you align yourself with realities that logic alone could never calculate. That's why some of the biggest breakthroughs in people's lives come not from planning everything out, but from trusting a gut feeling, following a hunch, or listening to that quiet inner voice that says, "Go this way." It's important to realize that your intuition isn't about predicting the future. It's about sensing alignment in the present. It tells you when you're stepping into a frequency that matches your desires or when you're drifting away from it. For example, you may meet someone and feel an instant pull toward them without knowing why. That's not random. It's your intuitive awareness picking up on their energy and its resonance with yours. Or you may get an uneasy feeling about an opportunity that looks perfect on paper. Again, that's not fear. It's a signal that something beneath the surface doesn't align with the frequency you've been cultivating. The key is to trust these impressions, even when your rational mind tries to talk you out of them. The more you follow these intuitive signals, the more you start to notice synchronicities weaving themselves into your daily life. a chance conversation that leads to the exact solution you needed, a book that falls into your hands at just the right moment, an idea that strikes while you're doing something completely unrelated. These aren't accidents, they are quantum alignments, showing you that you're on the right path. Intuition opens the doorway for these synchronicities to appear more frequently, almost as if reality itself is rearranging to support you. One of the most profound realizations is that intuition is not something outside of you. It's not a magical gift that only a few people have. It's a natural part of being human. Everyone has access to it, but not everyone chooses to listen. The noise of modern life, constant distractions, endless opinions, fear-driven narratives, drowns out the quiet inner voice. But when you create space for stillness, when you allow yourself moments of silence, your intuition becomes louder, clearer, and more reliable. It's like tuning a radio to the right frequency. The signal was always there, but now you can finally hear it. As you deepen your connection with this intuitive guidance, you begin to live in harmony with the quantum field instead of resisting it. You stop pushing against the current and instead allow yourself to be carried by it, trusting that it knows where you're meant to go. This doesn't mean giving up control. It means recognizing that the deepest form of control comes from alignment, not force. Intuition doesn't strip away your choices, it illuminates the ones that lead to your highest growth and fulfillment. In the end, following your intuition is the most powerful way to allow the quantum field to work with you, not against you, guiding you step by step toward the reality that has been waiting for you all along. One of the most fascinating aspects of intuition in the context of quantum manifestation is how it communicates through signals that are often subtle but incredibly powerful once you learn to recognize them. These signals are not always the booming voice of certainty we expect. They are often quiet whispers, fleeting thoughts, a sensation in your body, or a moment of synchronicity that seems too perfect to be coincidence. The challenge lies not in whether these signals exist, but in whether you are willing to notice and trust them. In a world full of distractions, it is easy to dismiss intuition as imagination or coincidence, yet those very moments are the quantum field, speaking to you in the language of alignment. Imagine walking into a room and immediately feeling the energy shift before a single word is spoken. That tightening in your chest, that sense of ease, or that sudden spark of curiosity. These are intuitive signals. They bypass logical reasoning and give you access to information that exists beyond the conscious mind. The quantum field contains infinite data, and your intuition filters through it, presenting you with the pieces most relevant to your path. The more attention you give these subtle cues, the more fluent you become in understanding the guidance being offered. These signals often appear in the form of synchronicities, patterns that seem like chance but hold deep meaning. Perhaps you're thinking about making a career change and suddenly you keep encountering people, books, or opportunities connected to that very path. Or maybe you've been asking for clarity in a relationship and then a random conversation or a song on the radio seems to mirror your exact thoughts. These synchronicities are not accidents. They are the quantum field aligning your external world with the frequency you've been broadcasting internally. Intuition is what helps you recognize these alignments as signals instead of brushing them off as coincidence. It's also important to recognize that intuitive signals don't always feel comfortable. Sometimes they appear as a sense of unease, a gentle resistance, or even a strong no when your rational mind insists everything looks perfect. This is where many people go wrong. They override their intuitive signals because they don't match their logical expectations. But intuition doesn't care about appearances. It cares about energy. It will steer you away from paths that don't resonate with your true frequency, even if those paths look appealing from the outside. Honoring these signals requires courage, because it means trusting the invisible over the obvious. To strengthen your relationship with these quantum signals, you need to cultivate presence. Most people miss intuitive nudges simply because they're too distracted or caught up in overthinking. By practicing mindfulness, whether through meditation, breath work, or simply taking moments of silence, you quiet the noise enough to hear what has always been there. Presence is like fine-tuning an antenna. The more still and aware you are, the clearer the signals become, and the more confidence you gain in following them. When you begin to live guided by these signals, life starts to feel less like a struggle and more like a dance. You no longer force outcomes or chase after endless signs. Instead, you recognize that every intuitive nudge, every synchronicity, every sudden insight is the universe collaborating with you. Your role is not to control the how and when, but to stay open and responsive to the signals that unfold along the way. With practice, this creates a deep trust that your reality is shaping itself in alignment with your highest intentions. In truth, your intuition is the translator of the quantum field. It takes the infinite, invisible energy of possibility and delivers it to you in simple, recognizable signals that guide your steps. The more you honor those signals, the more gracefully you move into the reality you desire, because you're no longer resisting the guidance of the field. You're flowing with it. Intuition guiding you through quantum signals does not stop at subtle feelings or synchronicities. It extends into the physical sensations and emotional responses that act as a compass for your choices. Your body, in many ways, is the most sensitive instrument you have for perceiving the field of energy around you. It picks up signals before your conscious mind can process them, and when you learn to listen, it reveals exactly where alignment exists and where it doesn't. This is why people often describe intuition as a gut feeling. That pull in your stomach, that rush of warmth, or that sudden calmness isn't random. It is your nervous system responding to the energetic information flowing from the quantum field. Science even shows us that the heart and gut have neural networks capable of processing information independently of the brain, and they often respond faster than logical thought. When you sense expansion in your chest, lightness in your body, or excitement bubbling up, that is energy signaling alignment. On the other hand, when you feel contraction, tension, or heaviness, that is energy warning you of misalignment. Many dismiss these sensations as mere emotions or stress responses, but in the context of quantum manifestation, they are directional guides. They are part of the universal system of communication that helps you navigate toward your desired reality. Think about the times you ignored your body's signals and later realized it was right all along. Maybe you felt uneasy about a decision, but you rationalized your way through it, only to regret it later. Or perhaps you felt an inner pull toward something that seemed irrational, yet when you followed it, doors opened in unexpected and powerful ways. These experiences are not coincidences. They are proof that your intuition, communicated through your body, is always one step ahead, always attuned to the deeper flow of reality. The challenge lies in relearning how to trust these sensations. From an early age, many of us are taught to suppress or second-guess our feelings in favor of logic, rules, or external validation. Over time, this conditioning dulls our ability to hear what our body is telling us. But when you reconnect with your intuitive signals, you realize that your body has been speaking the truth all along. Simple practices like placing your hand on your heart when making a decision, breathing deeply to notice how your body reacts to a thought, or journaling about the physical responses you experience can help you strengthen this connection. Another key part of this process is distinguishing between fear and intuition. Fear often shows up as frantic energy, overthinking, or a racing heartbeat, tied to imagined scenarios. Intuition, even when guiding you away from something, carries a quieter certainty. It is a calm knowing rather than a panicked reaction. This distinction is crucial because it allows you to separate the noise of fear from the clarity of true guidance. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes to recognize when a signal is leading you toward your best path. When you align your choices with these physical and emotional cues, you step into a flow where resistance decreases and outcomes manifest more effortlessly. You no longer need to push against the current of life because you are moving with the signals that point toward alignment. Decisions feel lighter, synchronicities increase, and opportunities begin to match the frequency of your inner state. It is like tuning an instrument. When you are in harmony with yourself, your outer reality harmonizes with you. The beauty of this process is that it creates not only clarity but also trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the signals you receive, and trust in the intelligence of the quantum field. The more you honor these signals, the stronger they become, until following them feels as natural as breathing. You begin to see that the universe is always communicating with you, not in loud declarations, but in subtle sensations and quiet nudges that, when honored, lead you directly into the life you've been trying to manifest. And in the end, listening to the body's wisdom is not about complicating your journey, it is about simplifying it. recognizing that the most profound guidance is already within you, waiting to be trusted. When you come to fully understand that intuition and quantum signals are not random, but part of a larger, intelligent system that is constantly guiding you, something profound shifts in the way you approach life. You begin to see that the universe isn't hiding answers from you, nor is it waiting for you to stumble upon the right formula. Instead, it is always communicating with you through subtle signs, feelings, synchronicities, and inner nudges that are designed to keep you aligned with your truest path. This realization frees you from the endless chase for external validation or for signs that you are on the right track. You no longer need to force life to reveal its mysteries because you recognize that the answers have been whispering to you all along. When you fully integrate this awareness, your perception of reality changes. The noise of doubt, fear, and overthinking quiets down, replaced by a sense of trust and flow. You begin to feel less like a wanderer searching in the dark, and more like a co-creator who is guided step by step toward your goals. Each intuitive signal, each synchronicity, becomes a piece of a puzzle, revealing itself in perfect timing. And while you may not always understand the bigger picture immediately, you develop the patience and faith to follow the signals with confidence, knowing that clarity always emerges as you move forward. This shift in awareness is not about escaping challenges or bypassing difficulties. It is about entering a new relationship with them. Instead of resisting or panicking when obstacles appear, you start to recognize them as part of the guidance system. Sometimes what feels like a delay or a detour is actually a recalibration, a redirection towards something even more aligned with your higher path. In this way, life becomes less about struggling to control every detail and more about responding with presence, awareness, and openness to the signals being presented. The beauty of this expanded awareness is how it simplifies your journey. Instead of endlessly questioning whether you're making the right decision or chasing after countless signs to confirm your choices, you anchor into the knowing that the quantum field is intelligent, responsive, and deeply connected to you. You no longer live in a state of hesitation or desperation. You live in alignment. And in that alignment, your energy flows with ease, your manifestations accelerate, and your inner world becomes harmonious with the reality you are creating. It is also in this state that you feel the strongest sense of empowerment. Because now you are no longer waiting for someone else to give you permission or for circumstances to prove that you are worthy of what you desire. You are tuned directly into the source of guidance itself. That inner compass, fueled by intuition and strengthened by your trust in quantum signals, becomes your foundation. From here, decisions feel clearer, opportunities reveal themselves naturally, and even challenges feel purposeful rather than random. As this awareness deepens, you come to realize that quantum manifestation was never meant to be complicated. It was never meant to be something only a select few could understand. It is simple because it is natural. It is the way reality already functions. The reason so few truly embody it is because they ignore the signals, doubt their intuition, or stay trapped in the noise of external distractions. But once you choose to trust, to listen, and to align, you step into a reality where creation is no longer a struggle. It becomes a partnership with the universe itself. And so, the ultimate gift of this expanded awareness is peace. The peace of knowing that you are never lost, never unsupported, and never without guidance. The signals are always there. The intuition is always speaking. The quantum field is always responding. All you need to do is listen, trust, and follow where it leads. For that is the path that takes you directly into the reality you were always meant to live.